Recently, I've been lending a lot of attention to budget and dupe fragrances on this channel, but I am also interested in other fragrances that fall outside of those categories. So today we're going to look at this PR package sent over by a company called Le Persona. Yes, it is a PR package, but they've only asked me to share my honest thoughts. Some background on them: they describe themselves as a luxury Korean fragrance brand. I am not particularly familiar with that so far, so this is a very interesting experience. Let's go ahead and start with this one called LP2. And here we have the bottle. I mean, it's fairly straightforward, but I do again like this art design. It just shows a little bit of effort. And I figured out online this is called Peacock Feather. I kind of wish that they put the name on the bottle itself, but still looks very good. Let's get into it. So I actually did this a little bit differently. Normally I like to do a standard unboxing on the page, but I've actually unboxed all of these already and played around with them for the past couple of days. So this is more my thoughts on each one. Okay, so notes wise in this one, we're looking at lime, bergamot, lemon, lavender, white flower, jasmine, coconut, patchouli, and amber. And I have to say, out of all of those, the lemon is definitely a strong dominant factor in the opening. And then as it dries, it's accompanied by a white flower that has a very beautiful floral delivery. I would say this is very well balanced. And underscoring all of that is this kind of smooth amber that kind of pulls it all together, but this only gives you half the idea. If I had to describe it a different way, I'd say in the opening, it's like a bright, sparkling lemon candy. That's not too much. It's not too sweet, very smooth. And then as it dries, the florals do start to come in. So I'd say it's very much in the unisex area, but because of the florals, it might lean a little bit more feminine to some of you. So if you're not into fragrances that are more feminine in that nature, then I would say this is probably not for you, but I think this is really well done. And then another thing that I want to mention with these is that a lot of us are talking about fragrances that are beast mode, that project super far. This to me isn't that kind of fragrance. This is more a fragrance that is for accentuating your aesthetic, that is meant to be slightly more moderate to intimate, and that's how it delivers. It smells really wonderful. It lasts for a really long time. I'd say around the 8-hour range easily, but it's not projecting like crazy. It's doing its job just perfectly to get you through the day and remind you that it's still there. Getting into the next one here, this is LP3 or Wooden Face. And this one's very interesting because it's a strong departure from the original. Compositionally, it is made of green tea, cardamom orange, fig, sweet pea, jasmine, musk, sandalwood, and cashmere wood. Very interesting. This is very strong in terms of the green opening, and I had to think for a while about what it reminded me of on the shelf. And at first I smelled Vetiver by Guerlain, that wasn't it, and then I eventually got to my Santal 33, and this kind of hit on the feeling. This takes the green effect way into a stronger direction, definitely into that kind of cult classic range, where instead this feels more wearable. For me, I think that I'm getting the green tea, maybe emphasized by a cardamom, along with some fig to make it just a touch sweet, but not too sweet at all. This is definitely still strongly a green fragrance. And then in the dry down, there's some woodiness too, I think makes this perfectly unisex. Some might feel that this leans a little bit more masculine, but either way, very well done fragrance, and I really like it. And then getting into the last one here, this is LP4, aka Golden Gem, and this is easily the best of the group in my opinion. Getting into the notes really quickly, it's bergamot, cardamom oil, Guatemala rose, cedarwood, vanilla, fire, guaiac wood, vetiver, and patchouli. And of all those things, I'd have to say the very dominant delivery on this is with the rose and the vanilla. And if I could break that scent profile down even further, I'd say it smells almost like a cotton candy that's not too sweet, underscored by a very edible vanilla. And in the back of all that is a kind of fire that gives it this luxurious delivery that smells absolutely beautiful. I love this. It's rich, almost heavy in a way, but not too heavy. And I haven't smelled anything quite like it. Performance-wise too, this one lasted a solid 7 hours for me. I would say that's just a slight notch down from the other two, but still really good. 7 hours is very nice, especially for this kind of scent delivery. So I'm very pleased. And then you're probably wondering what these two were. These are just hand creams that match the scent profile of the fragrance that it's associated with. So for example, LP2 will match with LP2, but really well done. This is a nice touch, especially if you want to extend the longevity of your fragrance, get some more out of it. This is a great way to do it. So I like this touch. Overall, first impressions with Le Persona have been very good, but I don't want you to just take my word for it. So look forward to the next video because we're going to do something pretty fun with these fragrances.